1, 2, 3, 4. Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on.
And it's Wednesday with Mike and John Got It Going On. Mike Marino and John King. Your connection to Livingston County. Brought to you by the official Giggle Realtor, Jordan Genso.
Your exclusive Giggle Realtor.
Are we changing it?
Well,
I have
it's
to
both.
change.
I think it's
exclusive, official Giggle Realtor, Jordan Genso.
I mean, I don't know of any other Giggle Realtors out there.
Not yet.
No. Maybe that's our thing.
Maybe we should start a gang. The Giggle Realtors. The Realtors.
It's a nice house you got there.
Yeah. What kind of neighborhood do you think this is?
Okay. I don't think that's
What kind of basement do you listen to a podcast in?
So, yes, but Wednesday, of course, and we've got an interview coming up with Stacy Downer from Parker Middle School, talking about the busy boxes that students there recently put together for patients with Trinity Health.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff. As far as I never would have thought of this when we were in what was junior high back in our day.
We were making
middle school.
We were making ashtrays. Different time.
So true. let's make Grandpa an ashtray.
Right.
Now they're talking busy
yeah.
boxes. So we'll find out more about that. We'll take a look at last night's TNT Tuesday night trivia, some interesting answers, and our 2-cent history lesson all coming up.
Yes.
Did you scan some of that?
I did. I think it was one to let the ladies have their say about men.
Well, you got to keep it equal because we do surveys of women, surveys of
Right.
men, and this one happened to be about guys. Right. And I'm surprised only one person got the right answer.
Right.
So we'll get to that in just a little bit. In the meantime, a look at local news. We'll cover Livingston County, brought to you by our friends at Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton.
All right, here's what's going on. A Washtenaw County judge Tuesday ruled that the burden of proof had not been met and dismissed a personal protection order against the head of the Livingston County Republican Party. The PPO was sought and granted last October by Brighton attorney Sarah Cross, who said she'd been harassed and her family threatened by Jennifer Smith, chair of the Livingston County GOP. Smith, who headed up the local Moms for Liberty chapter, had filed to terminate the order. And a hearing Tuesday in Washtenaw County Circuit Court, the judge determined Cross had failed to meet the burden of proof that many of the online posts that she claimed were being posted by Smith were indeed from her. Now, while disappointed in the outcome, Cross stood by her claims and noted that the judge said if the harassment were to start again, a PPO could be filed in her courtroom, and that she said everyone should know the identity of the person or persons who are making the posts could be obtained by law enforcement via a search warrant. According to Cross, quote, "I'm okay with this outcome." A request for comment was made to Smith, but has yet to be returned. A suspect who fled from a traffic stop was arrested after barricading himself in the Fowlerville area Tuesday. Fowlerville Police Department reports a high-speed chase originated in the village after a driver failed to stop when officers attempted a traffic stop. Due to the safety of the public, the chase was called off, but the suspect vehicle was then seen pulling into an address on West Allen Road. Officers from the Fowlerville Police Department, Livingston County Sheriff's Department, Ingham County Sheriff's Department, East Lansing Police, and Michigan State Police, as well as Special Task Force officers, then surrounded the residence. After several attempts at negotiation, an entry team went into the house. The K-9 unit from the East Lansing Police Department located the suspect hiding under an enclosed deck. He was taken into custody with no injuries. The subject had several warrants and was a parole absconder. And at their meeting last week, the Brighton Area Schools Board of Education voted to amend the 2022-23 budget, incorporating an additional $10 million into their annual funding. With that modification, the district's budget is about $81.8 million. Andy Storm noted that that was a significant increase from the $71.8 million allotted to the district in June of 2022. Michael Engelter, the Assistant Superintendent of Finance, explained that there are numerous factors contributing to the increase, including additional grants, retirement funds, instructional coaches, and new technology. Additionally, an extra $1.2 million had been allocated for security, with additional funds going towards various operations and maintenance projects. The budget also provides for board auditing and legal representation. Storm suggested the board find a way to lower the amount of money going towards those matters. Meanwhile, the amount designated for curriculum and supplies has already been decreased. The budget was approved 7-0. It'll be reevaluated at the end of the school year. The board also unanimously approved the payment for new CTE equipment and verified that sample vape detectors will be installed at Brighton High School, as well as Scranton Middle School and Maltby Intermediate School. Vape detectors.
I was going to say, what does a vape detector look like?
Obviously,
does it
you know,
detect the moisture in
mist,
the air?
Yeah, I'm assuming. That's an interesting
It's like,
little
no, we're
tidbit.
just in the steam bath here.
So,
Nothing going on.
the Brighton Board of Education will next meet on April 10th, and you can find details on all these stories on our website, mikeandjohnpodcast.com. And that's what's going on.
And local news brought to you by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton. As we've been expressing for the entire life of this podcast with Cooper and Binkley Jewelers as a new sponsor, they are indeed a big involvement in community support, and what they have going on with Fund a Life with Mark Howell kind of gives a perfect example of what Mark and Barb Binkley are all about. They support Fund a Life and the not-for-profit in their mission to support people who are in life-altering situations, much like Mark Howell was a few years back. And they have this big $200 ticket that will go to Fund a Life and give you a chance, 1 in 100, of winning a $10,000 jewelry shopping spree.
Pretty good
Cooper
odds.
And Binkley Jewelers. Yeah. For all the details, see the Fund a Life website. That's fundalife.org/impact. Of course, Cooper and Binkley Jewelers, a big part of supporting that event, along with the Walk to End Alzheimer's. And coming up in a couple weeks, we are going to be at the Walk to End Alzheimer's, kind of a kickoff rally.
Yeah, it's the leadership breakfast. They're getting ready for the event coming up in September in downtown Brighton. So you and me will be making breakfast.
What? That was. So we're going to stop and get bagels on the way? Is that our
Whip
role?
through the drive-through.
There you go.
No,
Exactly.
No. Yeah, we'll have nothing to do with that. Don't worry. But yeah, it's April 4th at Crystal Gardens, the Alzheimer's Leadership Breakfast, and we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, we were there last year, and a lot of great support for that event. And for those that it's more to help create awareness of ways to help those that are involved with somebody that has Alzheimer's, a family member, or a coworker, those kind of things.
Right, and the leadership team, Barb Binkley, leading the team, and then you've got the Cortez family, and everybody involved in the leadership, has these personal stories about how Alzheimer's has affected them and their loved ones, and so this determination to, let's come together, let's work together to try and help those who are afflicted, and ultimately work towards finding a cure for this disease. So we're proud to be a part of that effort.
It's coming up April 4th. Our survey last night, or our trivia last night, as we were alluding to at the kickoff of the show, brought to you by OG Sponsors Firehouse Store, serving Livingston County for over 25 years with unparalleled products and service. Our question, according to a new survey of men, 46% say they experience this on a daily basis.
Right.
We wanted to know what it is. So we opened up the doors and the ladies gave their, some guys chimed in, but most of these were from the ladies.
A lot of these answers were kind of like, hey-oh kind of answers. Yeah. Like, for instance, Elizabeth said, too much confidence. And she goes, just kidding.
Gas.
Yeah. And not the kind for your vehicle.
No. The need for beer, said Jeff. So that was a guy's perspective on, I think I need a beer now.
Beer me.
And it's, let's see.
Donna said, the need to touch themselves in the crotch.
That's... there are some guys that are, like, notorious for that.
Well, Al Bundy. So...
there's ways to fix that.
Well, yeah.
I suppose.
Somewhat related to our answer.
Yeah. Let's see. Feeling a bit lost, said Spencer. Confidence, said Christine. Some guy's overconfident or cocky. You know anything? No? Forgetfulness?
What?
Is that out of convenience?
What?
The need to shave, said Karen.
Lynn said, unexplained urges to explain things, otherwise known as mansplaining.
Yeah.
So, ladies, what mansplaining is, that's when men feel the need... Okay. Because you didn't know.
Our friend Brandon checked in. We'll let you look at the answers online to see what Brandon said because he's notorious for giving certain answers.
What did Brandon say? I must have missed that. Our good friend Scott, great Scott, said blessed.
Yes.
Nice answer.
It really is a nice answer.
It's you know.
That's a nice answer.
It's nice.
It's a great answer.
It's not
for
right,
Scott. No.
but it's a nice answer.
Sometimes you know, maybe you're blessed and you just don't realize it.
Right.
Or you don't acknowledge it, or you
Well-
just kind of think of other things and you don't realize how blessed you are.
Right.
Ann said feelings of inadequacy.
What do you mean, Ann? What are you talking about? Who you been talking to? What's going on? Who said, wait, it happens. Wait, what? Okay.
The wrong way, according to Pamela, the wrong way of speaking to others. There are guys that have no filter.
Right. I think there's sometimes, yeah.
Or you think you're around the guys and that you can talk to anybody that way.
Kelly said having their fly down.
If you have that happening on a daily basis, I think that's on purpose.
Could be. I don't know.
Elizabeth said getting strange looks. Scott said fear. Jeff said wishing Brandon would answer.
Oh, yes, I see Brandon's answer now.
Rude drivers. So I'm guessing, you know.
I mean, Brandon's answer isn't that bad. You know, talking about elections.
No,
oh, wait,
no,
I misread
it's
that.
not
I'm
election.
sorry.
No. Mary said frustration. Feeling of frustration on a daily basis.
Right.
Yeah, I suppose, you know, that could happen, especially if you're in traffic on I-96 during construction.
Yeah. Somewhat related, Chris said rude drivers.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I think everybody experiences that.
right.
Probably more than 46%.
Wardrobe malfunction from Pamela. So lots of good answers.
Our correct answer, and Lisa got it, was a wedgie.
Yeah. Which
46% of guys experience a wedgie on a daily basis. I find that odd.
look.
It might be time to change the style of underwear you wear.
Well, when you think about the earlier answer about needing to touch their crotch area, maybe that's a part of it. You know, you got to rearrange things. And I would say that there are.
It's like moving furniture. I want it there. Yeah. No, let's move it over there.
Move it over here.
You know, it'd look better over there. It might feel a little better.
And I would say there are two types of wedgies.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there was categories.
When we think wedgie, you think, you know,
up the butt.
Yeah, that's the back
the
wedgie.
Traditional wedgie.
But there's a front wedgie too. I think that qualifies as a wedgie.
I don't know that I've had a front.
When one of the boys escapes, tries to make a run.
Needed some air. Tried to make a run for it. Okay, I think we're getting a little TMI right now. All right. Well, we want to thank Firehouse Doors for bringing you this entertaining trivia question. Firehouse Doors celebrating their 25th year of serving Livingston County, family-owned and operated business, striving to treat each and every customer like family. Firehouse Doors, veteran-owned. Mike Witt, proud U.S. Air Force veteran. If you need service or a new garage door, or perhaps an overhead rolling steel.
Well, who doesn't need one of those?
Firehouse Doors, the people to call, 810-599-7480. We'll have another trivia question coming your way tonight, probably after 7:30.
Right.
All right. So elsewhere, we'll get to our 2-cent history lesson in just a little bit. We were talking about these busy boxes. Not busy bodies, busy boxes.
No, busy boxes.
That our friends at Parker Middle School.
Yeah, and they created these and then donated them to a local hospital for patients that have dementia. So we're going to find out more calling Stacy Downer, the Parker Middle School Student Services Advisor, who helped put this all together. So,
good morning, this is Stacy.
Hey, Stacy, it's Mike and John from Mike and John Got It Going On. How you doing today?
Hey, doing well. How are you?
Good. So we just kind of described these busy boxes.
Yes.
And John gave an overview, but let's talk about how this all came about.
Yeah, well, we're super excited to get back into, service learning and give our students some authentic experiences and have it go full circle to actually go and have them deliver them themselves after such hard work, promote the relationship skills and social awareness. And it just really was phenomenal. So the kids voted essentially at the end of the day is how that all came to be. With hospital busy boxes, which ended up being bags, winning. And then they chose each Patriot Time, chose which project they wanted to make. And then we also had an Amazon wish list. And then our community just was phenomenal. They donated the items for the kids to make the projects that they selected. And then they also donated items off of the Amazon wish list, which were the pre-made sensory and stimulation items for our patients at Trinity.
Yeah, and so now this was part of to reinforce this concept of the Positivity Project.
Yes.
Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah, so essentially what we want is to instill in our students, just the idea of other people matter and that we're giving back. So they learn every day in the morning. They learn about the 24 character strengths. That's really the foundation of the Positivity Project. And they actually take a VIA survey and they identify their top strengths and then down to their 24th, which are just strengths that they could work on. And so we talk about how these strengths can be used in positive ways and ways that aren't, necessarily it's the right time to use humor, right? So we talk about times when it's appropriate to use a character strength and when it's not appropriate. And so this was really built in the other people matter mindset that we're giving back to our community. And it also reinforces our portrait of a Highlander. And just, really, again, like I had said earlier, just giving those authentic experiences, creating social awareness and those relationship skills.
So is this something that each and every classroom is, as far as the Positivity Project, is this something like we start the day with this, or is this a club and after school, or how does it all come together?
It's every day. They start their day. It's about 25 minutes. Essentially, it's what maybe you and I would have associated with a homeroom, but it's totally different. It's foundationally based through the Positivity Project. So I know, like when I was in school, it would be a time to just kind of socialize and hang out, maybe do homework, and that's not the case at Parker or even over at Highlander Way, which they have the Hawk Hour. So it's very similar. So again, we start our day every day in a positive way, just reinforcing those 24 character strengths, doing activities associated with those, and just starting our day in a positive way.
Well, I think it's amazing that you've got, basically seventh graders. This is mostly seventh graders?
So eighth graders were the ones that selected, and then we had project managers that then went from each homeroom to talk to the sixth and seventh graders and really promote it, throughout the school.
So all the kids were involved in some manner.
Correct.
Yeah, doing this. And so when I think back to my middle school years,
well, that's in black and white,
right?
isn't it?
Me too.
I just, the fact that you've got middle school kids who are thinking about doing community projects, and then even to the extent of, hey, let's create these kits that will help patients who have dementia. I mean, that's just an amazing connection to make where, like you said, to think about others and have these kids at such a great age, I think, to begin thinking about, sort of expanding beyond their own experience, expanding beyond their own, bubble in the world, and understanding that there are other people with different experiences that are out there. I think that's just an amazing project in and of itself.
Oh. Yeah, I'm very proud of our Highlanders. I'm very proud of Parker and the Howell community. The next step is our students are going to write thank you letters to all the donors that weren't anonymous. Then our project managers are out there just speaking to the experience that they had. I had 14 students able to go with me to Trinity, and they, really were like, we're like semi-famous. I was like, yeah, you are, and look at you go, and it was really cool to see them just really feel that and know that, Trinity, they were amazing, just speaking to everything. We wish we could have seen the hospital patients receive them, but they spoke to the fact that they, are going to be blown away, and they're so grateful, and we know that it's going to bring them extreme joy.
Yeah. And the boxes themselves, the kit, well, you said they're really bags.
What type of things are in those?
Yeah, so everything from, so our students made some items, every homeroom did, or Patriot Time, I should say. So those were infinity dice cubes. We had really cool I Spy bottles, where it's got the rice and different items where the patients can kind of spin the bottles. And we had a laminated checklist, so it's definitely a reusable item. We had little lava lamp bottles. We had the balloon with flower stress balls. We had some fidget bracelets. We had some sewers. So we had some students actually sew and help us with zipper and embroidery bracelets, like in buckles, so they can practice that. And then we had tons of donated things. So really students looked up, what do patients with cognitive impairments and dementia, what do they benefit from? And so they just started adding to this Amazon wish list. And I want to say like almost everything, maybe 98%, it was fulfilled. So it really, again, was mind blowing.
And now this, how is this an ongoing year-long thing, or do you just pick a month to do this? Now that we're kind of, I want to say, coming out of, COVID and the pandemic and everything, it just allowed us an opportunity to get back to what we used to do, which was service learning, where we could go full circle and actually see it come to fruition with the delivery and being able to be in person. So our goal is to do one every year. I don't know, next year what that's going to be, because we want that to be very much student-led, just like this year, where they were able to each choose what they felt was a community need, and then they were able to then vote, and Trinity, won the most votes. So I don't know, next year it could be something totally different, but I would love to partner with Trinity again. They were fantastic.
Yeah, and I know that they were very appreciative to receive these gifts, these kits for their patients, and so I think it's great that you've got the students involved and a great organization like Trinity Health as well to benefit these patients and then others. And are there future projects like this school year, or I guess I'm not quite sure.
So no, you're fine. So totally, right now where we're at with our 8th grade students is they're doing a book study. So they're reading Touching Spirit Bear, and they're tying it back to the Positivity Project and doing activities and lessons related to that throughout a reading. Our other students are doing similar activities, but there's a monthly calendar. It actually is by week that the Positivity Project puts out. So they are closely following that right now. In terms of another service learning project, we're always open and looking for opportunities to do that. But again, it really was my first time running this. I've learned a lot. Moving forward, it's a lot of work, and it's great. It's great work. But I think that it will be next year that we'll revisit actually doing a school-wide a project like this.
Oh, so wow. How long has the Positivity Project been going on at Parker?
I believe this is our 7th year, if I'm not mistaken, of having implemented and been behind this movement, and it's just really it's changed the culture of our school in a positive way, and it really is something that I hope we never lose sight of.
Yeah, I was going to say I was just in hearing about this and seeing what you guys are doing to see how this, since it's been in progress for the past 6-7 years, how kids, once they've gotten to high school, and if it's translated to them, because there are those changes in attitudes in adolescence once you get to high school. So I think it's a great way to spring it forward and see how it goes, but to see what the after effects are and see how they carry forward with it.
Yeah, and I think it's such a prime age, to really, like you said, grab them and really instill this mindset in them as they move forward and kind of figure out the kind of humans they want to be.
Yeah. Well, great work with the Positivity Project and of course the Busy Boxes kits, and we look forward to seeing more projects come out. And again, Stacy Downer, Parker Middle School, the Student Services Advisor. Thank you so much for joining us and telling us about this.
Oh, it was my pleasure. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
Thanks, Stacy.
You as well.
All right. It's
Bye.
Mike and John got it going on, and of course, Jordan Genso, our official Giggle Realtor.
Talk about having it going on.
Yes, he does. Jordan Genso with Remax Platinum, the official Giggle Realtor community servant and community realtor with over 15 years of real estate experience. As a part of the Genso team, Jordan can use his local knowledge to provide you with the expertise you need, whether it comes to buying or selling a home here and around Livingston County. It's time for today's Jorbit.
Yes, and we're expanding out our Jorbit today beyond just Jordan's, experience and knowledge of the real estate industry. Jordan's also a trustee on the Brighton District Library Board.
I knew that.
And last night, Jordan learned from two of the youth librarians that the library participates in the 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten program. Participants who keep track of the books they read with their young children can receive a prize after each 100 books, with the goal being that they reach the 1,000 book mark before their child enters kindergarten. Participants can even get credit for books other people read to their children, such as the grandparent or a babysitter. So, while Jordan's daughters are too old for him to qualify as a participant, he would love to help your pre-K child reach the 1,000 book mark. His suggestion is that you give the Giggle line a call. Okay.
That's Jordan's suggestion.
Yeah, that is his suggestion. And, of course, the Giggle line, 517-525-9052, in that you ask the author of a book called Ishkadoodle, A Boy, His Vacuum, and Their Outer Space Adventure. That sounds fun.
That sounds like a great book.
Yeah. You ask that author to read his award-worthy children's story to your child.
Wow.
It says right here, award-worthy.
I think you edited.
No, it says it right there. It says it right there. So...
I was going to say, how about 1,000 books before 60?
Yeah, well,
before kindergarten, because there may be some people that haven't read that much.
Well,
that's a lot of books.
Well, yeah, but I think the kids, especially with the younger kids, I think the issue is that the more you read to kids, their verbal abilities develop a lot faster. And so they're always, saying that you should be reading to kids, really from...
That's what they say.
As they say.
You should be reading to your
Those
kids.
are the same people that say that Ishkadoodle is award-worthy.
I grab my 23-year-old. Hey, sit down. Dad wants to read to you. Probably not going to happen.
We're a little behind the curve here, 23-year-old.
Little catch up.
Let's go. Sit down, Dad.
Really? Green eggs and ham, Dad?
I just came over to do laundry.
You're going to read Are You My Mother?
Very cool. So that's going on at the Brighton District Library. Something else to check out.
And if you need a realtor with experience serving Livingston County, give Jordan a call today, 248-444-9777. Maybe they should have a reading room. Like, hey, let's go over to the reading room. No TVs, nothing. Just an idea.
Where?
In the new home that you're going to get.
Oh, I see.
We could have a reading corner here at
we could.
the Giggle
I could get like a beanbag chair.
Let's not turn it into a hippie joint. Beanbag chair. Yeah, I want to see you getting in and out of the beanbag chair.
You know what?
Once
if
the
it's
knees
a really big one,
kind of like those big chairs in front of the courthouse during Melon Fest. Let's get a Mike and John Giggle beanie bag chair.
That's about the only
bean
way.
Bag chair. There you go.
Sorry.
Jordan Genso, community servant, community realtor. All right, our 2-cent history lesson today, by the way, is the 22nd of March. It's International Day of the Seal. International Day of the Seal. That's
seal?
the seal, yeah. Who's your favorite seal? I don't know any seals.
I don't know any seals.
Except the guy that
You know what? My favorite
is Heidi Klum, wasn't he?
SEAL Team 6.
All right. Bavarian Crepes Day today. Bavarian Crepes Day. Not your traditional
Right.
crepe.
What is is it like made with beer?
Probably has whipped cream.
Beer
Like a big Bavarian. It's National Goof Off Day. Well, if none of that. No.
Very busy here.
National Water Day and World Water Day.
Okay.
Enjoy the water.
I like water. Oh, right. Sorry.
This honestly is a bottle that I've refilled a few times from tap.
See, you're saving the earth.
That's what I'm
Look
here
at you,
for.
Earth saver.
I've just saved the planet. You're welcome.
Okay.
All right. 1733, Joseph Priestley invented carbonated water.
Oh.
Or seltzer. The kind that the Three Stooges would squirt.
Yeah.
Seltzer water. 1841, cornstarch was patented by Orlando Jones. Thank you, Orlando, for cornstarch.
Helps to thicken up stuff.
Yeah, that lemon cream pie, lemon meringue pie, cornstarch is in there. Just so
Now,
you know.
when I'm not a great chef or anything, but if I'm making something and it seems a little too watery,
Add a
And
little
you think,
cornstarch.
add a little cornstarch to kind of thicken it up.
Stiffens up the neck of your the collar of your shirt.
What's happening?
Put a little cornstarch on that thing. That's what that guy's
Just
doing.
rub it,
Rub
in and it'll stiffen it up.
Cornstarch, the early Viagra. Congress in 18. Hey, no snorting during the history lesson.
Sorry.
In 1882, Congress outlawed polygamy. They said you can only marry one.
What are you, nuts? What's wrong with you?
1903, Niagara Falls ran out of water because of a drought.
No.
Can you imagine Niagara Falls without water?
I know the last time there's a picture, I think it was 1969, where because they had to dam up the river to fix something, and there's an actual picture of the
being
falls
dry.
without any water, because they had to dam it up for
So
a
it's
period of time.
no
But-
falls.
But that was a natural occurrence, so yeah, interesting.
It's on this day in 1960, the first patent for a laser was filed.
Oh.
Just in time for James Bond to hit the big screen.
It's true. And then, of course, the phaser for Star Trek.
Yeah. 1975, Led Zeppelin started a 6-week run at number 1 on the U.S. album chart with Physical Graffiti. The group's 4th number 1 U.S.
Apparently they were popular.
This group
in the
called Led
70s,
Zeppelin.
yes.
Pink Floyd in 1980, another brick in the wall, started a 4-week run at number 1. Who didn't have a copy of Another Brick in the Wall?
I did, so...
I was thinking more of the Dark Side of the Moon. And finally, it
I
was
had
on
one
this
of those.
day.
I also had Animals.
Well, you had a lot.
The big pig floating.
Yes, the big pig floating. 2018 on this day, new research found that the Great Pacific Garbage Patch between Hawaii and California was 1.8 trillion pieces of plastic.
That's nice.
And it was increasing rapidly. You know why? Because not enough people were refilling their Aquafina bottles
Right.
with tap water. But yeah, you see that stuff float. It's like an island.
Now, what year was that?
2018.
Oh, so here we are 5 years later. And I'm sure it's gotten smaller.
downsized.
I'm sure it's
It's melted.
right.
That's your 2-cent history lesson for
Okay.
today. Coming up tomorrow, The Less You Know with Rich Perlberg. Do we know what we're talking about with Rich?
Do we ever know what we're talking about with
Not
Rich?
till the day
Does
of.
Rich
You
even know
usually-
what he's talking
You
about?
usually talk to me about it when I walk in.
Right. And but speaking of Rich, by the way, I don't know if you saw, we debuted his new column on Sundays.
Yes.
And I want to congratulate. And Rich was talking about a study about mask usage and things like that, and obviously had a point of view, and people that were disagreeing with what he said. But here's the thing I noticed reading all the responses:
There were no name calling.
There was no name calling. People generally were
was a
being
discussion.
civil and having a discussion, and were posting their various points of view, and I thought that was refreshing.
He did.
I did.
That's nice. It was
That's
refreshing.
nice. So,
It was nice.
It's nice.
Thank you for being nice.
So yeah, that's
It's not that usual that you see something
Right.
where somebody posts an opinion and other people who disagree aren't calling them names and then start going down some rabbit
now,
hole.
Now, me having said this now, I feel like later today I'm going to go in and check the comments, and
And
there's
then
going to be a
there'll
bunch of nanny poo poo stuff, and you're going to be like, okay, well,
nice
it
try.
was nice while it lasted, but yeah, we'll talk to Rich tomorrow, of course, for The Less You Know, and I don't know.
You never know what Rich is going to do. We'll find out tomorrow, along with your Wednesday night trivia question. We'll have that tonight. We will see you back here tomorrow. Mike and John got it going on. Don't forget, if you're having car troubles, want to get the car ready for summer travels, see our friends at Murphy's Family Auto. They can take care of you, whether it's oil changes, windshield wipers, electrical issues, your carburetor. If you have a car with a carburetor, they can take care of that.
Yes.
You open up the hood now and you're like, what the heck is this thing? I don't know. But Murphy's Family Auto does.
Right. So, of course, check them out. And they're open Saturdays, 8 to 1. Tell them Mike and John sent you. You'll save 5% off your bill. All right. We'll be back Thursday with The Less You Know, Rich Perlberg. And,
What other shenanigans we can come up
Oh,
with?
we're going to have shenanigans?
Maybe.
All right.
You've been giggling with Mike and John. Tune in next time and giggle on.